I want to tell you three things to think about. I'm not going to tell you to instantly believe them. There are things that I believe, so yeah, I'm not going to contradict myself in this video. But I'm going to tell you three things that I think you should look out for and kind of avoid. I think you should avoid falling into these pits that a lot of self-improvement and entrepreneur creators like to talk about. The first, and hopefully I remember all of them because I had them written down, but then it went away. The first is that money and success and progress, and usually this progress revolves around some sort of metric or some sort of statistic that is able to move up, like money or like subscribers or views or any other thing that is a very common goal that a lot of people want. This can become, I think, to many creators, the most important thing in their life, whether it's money, that progress in their business, and could be progress in your YouTube or whatever platform you're on, your metrics. And there are many other examples, but even I'm biased here because that's all I can really think of. That's what got me, right? Whether it was money or the views or whatever, it almost becomes the most important thing for you when all these creators, all they're telling you to do is to start this business, or this is how I made this much money. It's all they talk about. The key words of it's mostly money, progress in how to earn this much, how I made this million. And you're seeing a lot of young people that are doing it that might even be your age, and you're like, I want that. And then it might be other things where someone has a lot of success online and you see it and you want it too. It can be very easy for the tunnel vision of success to only be about external metrics. Because not only, and this isn't the fault of creators, not only is that what you see, but many times it's what you're told. The money, the success, the progress, that's what's most important. That's what you should be focused on. That's what the discipline is for. That's what, that's what locking in is for. Come on. We're making progress here. But the problem is this idea of progress and success is solely based around things that, while they're important, in the end become entirely meaningless. It doesn't matter how much money you have when you die. You think that's going to make you happy? You had $1 trillion in the bank account, but where's the wife and kids? Where's the family there to be with you at your deathbed? See, if you didn't have any of the family, none of that, the money doesn't matter. The money only is there to serve a purpose. And the purpose that it fulfills is to make your life easier, to give you freedom, to give you ability to do whatever it is that you are dreaming to do in life, to support your family, to make sure bad things don't really happen to you and your loved ones because of financial problems. You have that all figured out, right? But in this scenario of you being a trillionaire on your deathbed, but having no family, no friends, no one to be there for you, no one to remember you, no one to have good, fond memories of you with these other people and you being able to remember them and see them at the end of your life. In the end, it won't matter how much money you have, because the purpose that it gave you, it may have gave you freedom to do what you wanted, but it maybe gave you the freedom to do the wrong things. And that's what you spent your time doing. So the metrics, the money, when you are older, when you are about to be gone from the world, that's not what's going to be important. Of course, these things are important. Of course, we want these things. And money, in many cases, is often way more important than a lot of other vain goals that we have. Like for me, I'm not going to set another YouTube subscriber goal, because every time it's just, I get fixated on it. And if I don't hit it, which I haven't really hit like most times, it messes with me, messes with my brain. I'm like, but I tried so hard. That's all I focused on. That's all I wanted. And it really, in the end, it made me sad. It made me not really want to do the thing that I told myself that I loved and really enjoyed. And it took me away from all that. So this is sort of a long way to just say money and external success is not all of success. Success in life does not just account for the money you make, what the business you have, the progress you've made, the achievements you have. All of these things, they're important, and they can either be done in a way that is unhealthy and unfulfilling and ultimately going to make you end up regretting things, or it can be done in a very good way. And it's up to you, really, how you do these things. And it also is up to you if you are going to take care of the other responsibilities that you have. There's this idea, and I've said this idea isn't wrong. Okay, let me preface this by saying this idea isn't wrong. This is related to this first point of money and external factors and things that we think that makes up all of success. It doesn't. At least that's what I think. I think most people would agree. But we become very fixated on these, and I think a lot of creators on this platform, they don't focus on the fact that money and success isn't everything, and discipline and hard work. That is not all of life. It is a big part of life. It is very important, but it is not all of life. And if you make it all of your life, I would have to be so confident that you are not going to be that happy as time goes on, because you lose out on a lot of the things that make you human, that make you happy, that from a very basic primal sense we need as humans. There's this diagram that I used to draw, or that I've seen before, and that I've drawn a couple times. And you might think this is the sun right now, but no. This is your energy, a ball of energy. And all of these arrows coming out of this ball of energy, and it's going to go away. Just remember that in your head. All of those arrows coming out of that ball of energy are different things that you pursue. And that circle in the middle is your energy. And the idea that a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of successful people, a lot of YouTubers, self-improvement YouTubers, a lot of people present this idea as that is bad. That is really bad. Because, well, maybe not always that it's bad, but that it is bad for success and progress. And while it is true that if you are only focused on a few things, let's say you're focused on your business and making money, you're focused on your health and fitness, and let's say you are focused on your family, right? But if you're only doing those things, obviously you're going to make a lot more progress in those things. It is undeniably true that when you're putting more and more of your energy and time every day into a small number of things, those will grow much more and much faster than if you were spreading out your energy elsewhere. But it almost makes it seem like, some people, their idea is just one, or literally just two, one-track mind, right? You have one arrow that's pointing towards something, money, your business, your whatever, right? But most people would say that's not a good way to live life. But even if you have just three things that you're focused on, and I think a big problem that I've realized is when you are young and you're impressionable, and that's the biggest audience mostly for self-improvement YouTubers is young people or teenagers. I think, as you're getting older, you're not really as into it. I think when you're young, you're more ambitious. You have all this, you're trying to going. What this signals to you, even though it is true that if you sacrifice other things for that one arrow, for those 2 arrows, for those 3 arrows that you just want to pursue, those 3 things in your life that you want to make big and put a lot of effort into, it signals that everything else needs to be sacrificed. And this whole time I haven't been not denying the fact that, yes, if you did sacrifice everything else in your life, you would definitely make more progress in those areas. And I'm talking about just in a like binary, straightforward sense. Put more time in equals you get more out. In some cases, though, that doesn't work. It's not even true. In some cases, when you do limit down what you're doing, sacrifice so many things and just put it into, a few areas that you want to really improve, it can actually have a very negative effect, right? That situation is how I would explain like mind and body, or I would give an example of mind and body. If you were, let's say, a mathematician and you're super smart and all you do is focus on doing math problems and making your brain sharper and doing all these things, but you never exercised, sacrificing exercise to focus more on, doing brain exercise and stuff is not actually going to be helpful. Because if you were to take care of your body, your mind would be so much more active. You'd be able to think better. You wouldn't have, brain fog. You'd feel good, right? And that would help you do your work better, even though it took time away from you not being able to do your math problems and equations and stuff like that. So that's sort of the example that I want to bring to your mind here. Mind you, we're still on this first idea of the money and the success. It's not everything. It's not everything. And it isn't what success is, right? So coming back to the diagram of the arrows and stuff, and also the example I just gave of when you let go of something, it actually, even though you think it's going to help you make more progress, it actually hinders you. This idea of you must sacrifice is kind of pushed around a lot. You got to sacrifice this and that. You got to sacrifice these arrows that you're putting your time into. I think that I sacrificed way too much. And it didn't end up helping me. It ended up hurting me. And it took a lot of time and it put a lot of hurt on me because I didn't understand that these things that I enjoyed, these hobbies that I did, the time that I spent doing random fun things, and they weren't a waste of time. That's what I came to believe, really, that everything else was a waste of time if I wasn't working on YouTube or if I wasn't in the gym or whatever. Everything else was just a waste of time. What this diagram should mean more to people than just sacrificing everything, and this is what I really don't like. Most people don't say this. Is the only thing that you should have 100% easy time sacrificing and instantly get rid of is all the bad habits. I got rid of playing piano, taking piano lessons, and I'm probably going to start back up soon because I enjoy doing that. And I stopped because I thought to myself, this will help me make more progress with YouTube. And I stopped doing other things. I stopped playing basketball, playing as much sports. So I stopped hanging out with my friends as much. And all of that negatively affected me mentally. And so if you think to yourself, money, success, this is all I want. First, I want you to think, is money and achieving your goals and having achievements that are mostly external, because most of the goals we set are external. They're not some internal goal for us to become at peace or happy or whatever, right? Most of the time it's, I want to achieve this, I want to do this, I want to reach this marker. I not only want you to ask yourself, is it money and the external things that I want, is that really success? I also want you to question what you are sacrificing. if you're sacrificing something, you're doing it so that even though you want to do it, it will help bring up something else that is more important. And the problem is most YouTubers, most self-improvement YouTubers and creators will tell you to sacrifice things, even though you enjoy them and even though they are productive and not bad for you. They will tell you, you would just make more progress if you just sacrificed it. And while sometimes it is true, many times it is not worth it. If it's something you do enjoy, if it's a hobby of yours, if it's something that you spend time doing each day, like going out on hikes, going out into nature every day, if that's something you enjoy and then you suddenly think to yourself, wait, but I should be spending more time on the business. I gotta sacrifice this. It just adds to more time that you're spending inside, that your mind is looking at the computer, your eyes are looking at the computer. And yeah, it actually might help you make more progress in your business or whatever, but it also could just negatively affect you mentally and physically. So I also want you to ask yourself that. What am I sacrificing? And why am I sacrificing it? And do I really want to sacrifice it? And finally, is sacrificing these things, these hobbies, these habits, things that I enjoy in my life, is sacrificing it actually going to help me make more progress in the things that I think I will make more progress in if I sacrifice everything else? That is the first point that most YouTubers and self-improvement, entrepreneurship, self-help creators, they're not going to point you towards. And again, I want to remind you, this all falls under the main theme of think for yourself. Grow your own ideas, your own beliefs, form things on your own without always reaching to the YouTube space to get the answers. You have a lot of answers. You just got to form them. You got to think. You got to question. You got to come to your own conclusion on things, right? And not everything needs to be answered for you by someone else, by this creator that you look up to, right? Even though you do look up to them and you're like, oh yeah, they have good ideas and they've helped me out a lot. That doesn't really matter. You still should think for yourself no matter what. The second point that I want to make is that experiences are many times more important. Memories and experiences are many times much more important than progress. And when I'm saying progress, again, what I mean is this general idea of progress in money, in self, in the main self-improvement things, in the money, your business, your whatever you're pursuing. Everyone usually has one big thing that they're pursuing, and a lot of the time, it's business or it's trying to be a creator, something of that sort. And the idea is that I think is given by most creators is that you shouldn't really spend much of your time doing other things, right? If you want to make the most progress and success, because that's the most important thing, focus on this relentlessly. And I would say that I'm a pretty ambitious person. Well, I am an ambitious person, but there's a problem with telling people that you should, and it relates to what I said before, you should give up on doing, trips or hanging out or having experiences and making memories, doing fun things, because either it's instant gratification or it's not going to help you make progress. it also is something that can harm you, right? You don't always have to be self-improving and making progress. Progress can literally be you going and hanging out with your friends because you haven't hung out with them enough. Think about it for a second. This idea of a monk mode of, I'm going dark, I'm locked in, I'm disciplined. Like, yeah, cool, good, you're locked in. Doesn't mean you never have to see your friends again. Yeah, cool. That's so cringe when I think about it. I told my friends, and I got this false sense of assurance afterwards because I got views from it, and I got good acceptance from it, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. This was worth it. It wasn't worth it. When I went on monk mode, and I told my friends, it's actually cringe. I told my friends I'm going on monk mode, and that I'm not, to not really invite me to stuff. Like, what? That is so cringe. I wasn't hanging out with my friends because I wanted to do my little self-improvement thing and make progress. Like, self-improvement, when you're sitting in your room all day, is the same sort of shit as playing video games in your room all day. But instead, you're just thinking to yourself, oh yeah, I'm improving. That's where it really is. What Tyler Durden said in Fight Club, where self-improvement is masturbation. You're doing it just to, you get off on the fact that, oh, I'm so locked in. I'm so disciplined. Maybe that isn't you, but it was me. And so hopefully, if you are like that, you don't have to be. You don't have to never see your friends in order to make progress, in order to get success. You don't have to never do the things that you enjoy from time to time, going out and, going to the beach because, oh, that would take too much time away from my work. You shouldn't give up on your hobbies that you like to do just because, it's not helping me. All of those things are going to give you experiences and sometimes a lot of memories that you're going to be able to look back on. And not only are the memories more valuable than the time you spent, the 5 hours you spent doing some, like, working on your website for your business, some stupid bullshit, right? The experiences themselves become a very important part of what you do and how you learn and how you form yourself. The experiences that you have are going to turn you into who you are, and who you are determines if you become successful, what type of decisions you make in your business or in your channel or in whatever you do. So your experiences shape who you are, what shapes the things that you are trying to achieve and your goals. And if you are not getting any experiences and you are not living life, and I hate that I used to think like this, but I thought that, and I literally have a video, I might unlist it on my main channel, where it was all about how you shouldn't take breaks. You shouldn't do you should always just be working extremely hard, and that's the only way you should live life. You are literally boxing yourself in when you have this mindset, because you can no longer do the fun, spontaneous things that sometimes life presents you that will never present you again. Those experiences are worth it. See, life is nuanced. And this is what I not understand, is that there is no one way. There is no one rule fits all. There is always, almost always, exceptions and times where you break away from the ideology that you've been following and you go fucking live life a little bit. I thought that living life was just instant gratification. Like, live life equals instant gratification. Live life equals go to parties and do dumb stuff. No. Live life means go hang out with your friends that are planning a camping trip. And don't tell them, I can't go because I'm doing self-improvement stuff. Like, don't be a butt. Living life means you going on the road trip that you always wanted to go on. And you could even get like recordings and whatever out of that, right? You could benefit whatever goals you have even just by doing something like that. And even if it's not directly tied to doing work or making progress, it will give you experiences and refresh your life and give you something new and fun and something that you can be grateful for, right? And then that will boost your morale and make you work harder. I really hate this one tunnel vision mindset that a lot of creators will put onto impressionable people. And I was like, when I was younger, right? I was just locked in on the fact that you gotta like work hard and grind. And I'm not saying there's no place for any of that. What I'm saying is things are nuanced. Things are not always one way. There's not always one answer. You gotta understand, and this is something that I fully believe that I want you to take this away from this video. And I know this is like a long one. I don't know how long I've been going. 30 minutes. 30 minutes. I just suddenly remembered what that video was. It was that why you should live an extreme life. And that it's not actually extreme to work super hard all day and, you know. Wow. Okay. That just came to my mind. But the thing that I wanted you to take away was life is not found on the extremes. The answers to life are not found on the extreme ends. When you go to either, let's do this for example, political extremes. When you go to either end of a political extreme, it's like, whoa, I don't want to be either of these people. Why would I? This is horrible. Like both these options suck. And most of the time, and this doesn't apply to everything, obviously. Sometimes going to more one side or being at one extreme can be beneficial. You know, like I said, life is nuanced. Most of the time, find yourself in the middle. Find yourself taking from both sides. Find yourself looking at the world and saying, I can take a piece of this and a bit of this, but I don't need all of it. And you take bits and pieces, and then what do you form? Your own ideas, your own beliefs, your own way of living life. There is no one size fits all. And that is why you should not fully adopt some other YouTuber, some person you look up to. You shouldn't adopt their mindset and their beliefs. Take what you want and leave the rest. Take what makes sense to you and leave the rest. You don't have to blindly follow and believe everything that you see, every video you watch. Think, question, ask yourself, what a part of this do I agree with? Do I want to take this with me and believe it and use this in my life? Then yeah, I'll take this piece of this video, or I'll read this book and I'll think to myself, well, that part didn't really make sense for me or my life, and this other part did, so I'll use this. That's such a small thing, but it makes such a huge difference. Just asking a few questions and thinking for a few minutes about the things that you are hearing, the things that come in and out of your ears that you are consuming every single day. Right? If you're eating an apple, you bit into a rotten part, you'd immediately spit it out. Same way if you're watching a video and you hear someone say something and you're like, that is some rotten shit. Spit that out. Spit it out of your mind. Let it flow right out of your ears because it's some bullshit and you don't need to believe it. You don't need to put this as part of who you are. You decide what information, what advice you want to take in. And then everything else that doesn't make sense for you, that you really don't believe in, or that you think could be harmful, or that you think to yourself, this is not really that good advice, leave it. And this is a skill, though. You'll get better over time. At first, I sucked at this. I still knew that I should think for myself, but I didn't really. So back to what I was talking about. I got off track. Experiences. EXP. Experience. Just reminded me of video games. Yep. This thing right here, experience. It's something that I didn't realize for a long time was important. I don't know why, but I thought to myself, I figured life out. I got it. make YouTube videos, go to the gym. Bam. We figured life out, bro. We did it. I've experienced, I don't need anything else. And I can give you a very specific example, and this is something that I'm trying to change right now, is I told myself I'm never going to work a 9-to-5 job in my life. I'm never going to do any of that. Most people, they live their lives every day working a 9-to-5. So me not doing that removes the experience of working under someone else for a company, for whatever. It removes that entire experience from my life, and I'll never know what it's like how most people live their lives. And I think that's kind of stupid. So I applied to a job recently, and I might even make a video about that. My first time working a 9-to-5, and get my honest review on what it's like to work a 9-to-5, and this is how most people live their lives. And I'll probably be able to take something away from it, right? Not everything is about just the work and doing the same things. Doing the same things every day, you'll make a lot of progress, going to the gym every day and doing the right stuff. But, what about trying like CrossFit, huh? I know you said it was cringe, but it might be kind of cool. You might actually like it. And you might get some new experiences out of it and learn some new ways of training. It might change, how you see fitness. This is what I think about with the 9-to-5 thing. It might change how I see work and how I see, money and how I want to work. If I'm being honest, I probably think I'll just come back to it and be like, well, that kind of sucked, but maybe it'll prove me wrong, Maybe I'll take something bigger away from it than just 9-to-5 sucks. But that's just one example of it, right? Or I gave like 2 examples there. Experiences are going to build you into who you are, right? And when you don't have enough experiences, and also if you don't have any stories, like you're a boring person, what are you going to tell your kids when you grow up? Your grandchildren will be asking you, Grandpa, tell us some stories. And you'll be like, I don't have any. All I did was grind away in my youth. Yes, and I'm going to say it again, you should work hard. You should be disciplined. You should grind. But you should not be grinding all the time. There are some people that I think can be happy living a life like that. I genuinely think that most people are not happy living a life where everything is grind and discipline and work. I don't think so. Even if you love your work, you don't do it all day. Even if you love basketball, you're not going to be playing basketball the entire day. It might be a huge portion of your day, but you're still doing other stuff. You're still spending time with your family. You're still treating your body right and letting it, heal and eating good food. So there are other components to life other than the one thing that you might be so focused on right now and have tunnel vision on that goal. And I think a big problem is when you get into this young, you sort of let things slip away, or you say no to a lot of things. That's a point I want to bring up, is you probably learn to start saying no and to start sacrificing a lot of things. You have to learn how to say no to the right things and yes to the right things. And when you see an opportunity and you think to yourself, I kind of want to do that. That seems pretty fun. And it's like a day or 2 of your time, or maybe just half a day or a small part of your day. And you kind of want to do it, but you think to yourself, no, I shouldn't. I got to grind. I got to do my work and all that. You should just do it. Just say yes. It's similar to what I was saying earlier. Just go out with your friends. Just go do it. It'll be fun. It'll boost your mood. You'll be happy that you've done it. You'll make some memories, have some experiences, right? Build your experience. And that's a testament to actually doing new things and trying to grow and not just staying in your same bubble of self-improvement grind. I'm going to do this, wake up every day and work on my business to make so much money, right? Another big idea that I have thought of now that encapsulates this video a bit is self-improvement is this bubble. It puts you from the bubble of video games and degeneracy into the bubble of self-improvement, which is grind, work hard, be disciplined, be this cool dude that's just, he's going to become successful, and you're just going to be grinding away every day. You're doing all the good stuff, the good habits, you're meditating, you're reading. And again, I'm not saying any of this is bad. I'm just saying that if that becomes everything to you, and this becomes all that you do, you actually start to lose out on a lot of other things in life. And I think it is genuinely unhealthy for the majority of people. And I think it is genuinely, over time, sad for the majority of people. It is not a happy way to live life. It is not a fulfilling way to live life when you're constantly in this bubble of everything I need to do is about improving myself or getting towards my goals or being disciplined and locked in. That's why, people like David Goggins, when he's giving advice, it's more of him showing. He is actually doing it, right? And this is what I respect about him. I don't think everybody should be like David Goggins. I don't think most people can be like David Goggins. And maybe he would disagree. Probably would. But what I respect about him and what other creators don't do is he's just showing you. Like, he's out there running. He's out there saying, yeah, that is the way he lives life. He's not sitting in his room or whatever telling you, go do this, go do that. At least he's showing you genuinely this is who he is and what he does. And he's just saying, this is what I'm doing, and this is what I think. He's not forcing or like telling anyone to follow what I say and I'm this self-improvement. Like, he's just a guy that is living the life the way he tells it. And I think that is amazing. That's really respectable. So a lot of the problem is that a lot of people aren't like that. They tell you what to do from the comfort of their home in their chair, like I am right now. Listen to me. I am the well of knowledge. Listen to me. Great Maxwell. I will give you the knowledge that you search for. If you want to improve your life, make millions of dollars, you've come to the right place. I know how to do that. I've totally done that. So here we go. Just, start that business and, do this, start drop shipping. That's all you got to do, man. So that's the bullshit, right? That's right there's the bullshit that a lot of YouTubers are like. And it causes you to not gain experiences that most people get in life, causes you to turn down and say no to a lot of things you should say yes to. And like I said before with the previous point, it causes you to hyperfixate on sacrificing and only focusing on certain things, and also makes you hyperfixate on that success is just money and achieving my goals, and that's all that matters in life, and discipline and locked in, and I have to do all these things all the time. It's not healthy. It's not healthy for, I would say, almost all people. Maybe some people function like that and they're good and they're like, I love this. Not healthy for most people. And I think most people would agree. Now, the third point, if I can even remember it, and it might be really similar to what I was saying before with the other 2 points. Let me just try to rack my brain and see if it even matters. I don't even know what the other point was, but I'm going to say something that I think is very true for a lot of YouTubers, influencers, self-help people. And, well, actually, I should give it more as an idea. I think that something you should think about is that the people that you watch, the people that you see online that give you the advice, they struggle and don't know as much as you do. They aren't the well of knowledge. They aren't the savior, the answer to your prayers. They aren't God. But I think they're treated as such, and sometimes they present themselves as such. We always present our best selves, right? And this is what I'm going to tell you. You know this, right? The people that you look up to, and I'm specifically just thinking of myself right now, my past self, they don't have the answers. They don't. I don't have the answers. I figured some shit out. I'm still so much more, and it will be never ending. Nobody is this perfect person that can give you the advice that you need all the time. The people that you watch are very imperfect. They are as imperfect as you. They struggle as much as you. They make as many mistakes as you. But they present themselves at their very best. Most of them, at least. And I want to present myself more at vulnerable stages and actually tell vulnerable stories, because I think those are more important for people than telling them I'm this great person all the time that does no wrong, guys. That's the third thing I want you to think about is everyone you look up to, are they really perfect? Are they really not struggling all the time? Are they really just doing everything right? No, they're not. And so I want you to understand that if you are fixated on all these things right now, and you're not seeing what you want to see, you're not seeing the progress that you want, and you feel like you're getting burned out, or you're just not doing things the right way, or you lost some friends or whatever, and it's all just going to shit. If you're thinking like that, you got to realize these people aren't the answer. These YouTubers are not the answer. Stop looking to them for the answer, because that's what's got you into this situation in the first place, is you blindly listen to what other people have told you to do. And the point I want to make is a lot of these YouTubers that are like this, they'll tell you, don't follow the system. You're following the system. Your teachers, your whatever, they've been telling you this and that. And they tell you, your parents tell you to live your life this way. You need to break out of the box. You've broken out of the box just to put yourself in another box. Listening to these authority figures online that almost act as your teachers, as your parents. They can do a lot of good and give you a lot of good advice, but no, they are not this authority figure in your life. Everyone in this world, no matter how close you are to them, no matter if they're their parents, they're your favorite YouTuber, your teacher at school, you have to question and think for yourself and not just blindly believe whatever they say. I literally broke out of the box to put myself in another box. And this one is a self-righteous, I'm better than everyone else. I'm on self-improvement. I'm grinding. I'm this cool guy, and I'm going, I'm disappearing, and I'm doing all this work, and I'm going to grow this business. And really, bro, think about it. You're blindly following what every authority figure in your life is saying. Just like how you were before with whatever, with school and everything. You thought you broke out of the matrix. No, you're still in the matrix. Wherever you're at right now, a lot of it might be the fault of you blindly listening to what other people online are saying. And it might be the fault of, in somewhat, what blindly, you're believing of the people around you, your parents, whatever. And maybe you have made some progress, and you probably have done a bit of good because of these people online. But they are not your savior. I'll say it again. They are not your savior. They're not God. They are not all powerful, all knowing. And so stop treating them like they are. You can only pull yourself out of the situation you're in. Right? It's up to you. It's your decision. And if you decide to keep following this advice and all of their ideas and everything, and not actually think for yourself, then you're going to end up in a painful spot. I think it might be a good idea to step away from it. Step away from the videos, step away from the creators, all of it. And take some time to journal and think for yourself and answer some questions for yourself. Not have it given to you by the YouTube self-improvement creator gods. They're going to give you the knowledge. No, they're not. No, they're not. It's getting hot in here. Well, that's probably all I got for you. It's kind of funny how I'm telling you all these things. Okay, maybe the video is a little bit contradictory. Maybe it is. But I think this could be helpful if you truly like were me and was just blindly following the people that you liked most on this app. Because it can help you. They can help you a lot, but then they can also hurt you a lot, right? They're just as lost as we are, and to be giving advice on everything in life, no one has the right to do that for you. And no matter how good intentioned people are, even for someone like me, and you can literally tell that this is true because of videos that I've made in the past that I literally talked about earlier this video that I say are completely stupid and that I might just, end up unlisting on YouTube. It shows you, no matter how good intentioned people are, some of the things they tell you, some of the advice they give is just going to be straight up wrong, or not nuanced and too much pushed in one direction that says you have to do things this way. If anyone ever tells you there's only one way to do something, you have to do something like this, it's just not true. So just be careful with what you're believing and what you're consuming, and question things. Think for yourself. That's the moral of the story. Think for yourself, bro. I know this is a long ass video, so if you are here, which most of you won't be here, you're a real one. Keep on improving, bro. I'll say the line. Never stop improving. You'll be grateful for it later.